Welcome everybody to Chair Yoga. Glad to see so many familiar faces joining us each week, as well as some new folks today. So my Chair Yoga classes, anyone can really participate. Everything that I give is simply a suggestion and an offering to you. Take what works for you, leave what doesn't, and just simply listen to your body and make sure you're being, you're doing the practice today that meets your needs this morning. So we'll begin in our seat. Just simply find a comfortable seat. Maybe simply close your eyes as we get settled in our space. And for the first few moments, we're going to tune into our breath and just be still for a few moments. Noticing the breath as it comes in and out of the nostrils, warms the body, fills the lungs, and brings life breath to our body. Maybe we start to deepen our breath a little bit, lengthen our inhale, holding at the top for a moment before we slowly release. Take about 2 deep, full breaths just like that. As we sit here, let's grow a little bit taller in our spine. So if we need to come up to the edge of our chair for a more active seat, feel free to do that. We want to sit bones deeply through the chair and reach our spine, growing up and out of our hips, up and out of the chair. Let's take our hands by our sides to begin and simply breathe our arms up overhead, reaching our arms above us. And then as we exhale, let's bring our hands together and in front of us, lowering them down to heart center. So let's do that again, incorporating the breath and the movement. Inhale, we reach our arms up. Maybe we look up at those hands this time. Exhale, lower the arms back down. Last time, big stretch, reaching all the way up to the sky, looking up at our hands. Exhale, lowering the arms back down. Keeping our hands in prayer position, let's incorporate some twists. So twisting over to the right, back through center, and over to the left. Take these 2 movements at your own pace. We want to just be twisting the upper body, keeping our lower body still and facing forward as we begin to warm up the spine and bring some movement to our spine. Wherever you are with your next twist, let's hold to that side, whether it's right or left. Let's hold it there. And if you'd like to incorporate your hands, maybe reach your front hand towards your knee or leg, and your back hand maybe to the chair behind you to help deepen that twist. We're going to hold here for a breath. Maybe we look to the side, or maybe you try and reach and look all the way beyond your back shoulder. Exhale, release, and going to the other side, twisting to the opposite way. Maybe you incorporate your hands, reaching the front hand to your leg or knee, reaching the back hand behind you, using your arms as leverage to deepen that twist. We'll hold for 2 breaths here. Maybe looking to the side, or maybe looking all the way beyond that back shoulder. Exhale, unwind, and come back through center. We're going to take cat and cow positions. So I'll turn to the side so you can see me, but feel free to stay facing forward. We're going to arch our back and look up to the sky for our seated cow position. Really opening up through the chest, feeling the shoulder blades working and pressing our shoulders behind us. On our exhale, we're going to roll our spine back, drop our hips, and drop our chin to find cat position. Feeling the stretch in the upper back, all the way down the spine here. So take those 2 movements. Inhale, arching the back. Exhale, rolling the spine. Take these as large or as small as you'd like, as fast or as slow as you'd like, following your breath. and we can find stillness in the center. We're going to take our legs a little bit wider than hip width distance and do those same 2 movements. Again, inhale, we arch for cow. Exhale, we roll our spine back for cat pose. By widening our legs, we're getting a little bit more into our low back, starting to warm the muscles of our low back a little bit deeper. Taking 1 or 2 more. And then we can come back up through center and close our legs back to hip width distance. Let's reach both of our arms up to the sky, resetting our breath. And then on our exhale, we're going to take a forward fold. So we can reach our hands to our knees and then maybe slide them down our shins, reaching as far as you can towards the ground. Wherever we are, see if you can release your upper back, see if you can drop your head and neck, reaching towards the ground. Let your head be soft, and we'll hold for about 1 or 2 more breaths. You can make any movements with your head if that feels good this morning, or you can stay still. And then on our inhale, we'll slowly roll up, 1 vertebrae at a time. Excellent. So depending on the chair that you have at your disposal, if you have arms or no arms on your chair, do this with your own modifications, but maybe you want to scooch a little bit back towards the back of your chair. We're going to extend our right leg out to the side. So as I said, make any adjustments. Maybe you want to come to the edge or move back. Whatever you have in your space, we want our right leg out to the side and our toes facing away from us. We're going to inhale our right arm up to the sky, and we're going to take a side bend over to the left. So reach up and out of your hip before we reach over to the left. What we're trying to do here is draw a nice long line from the tips of our right fingertips all the way down towards our right toes. Feeling that side body stretch on the right. Hold for 1 more breath here. And then we're going to inhale, reach it back up through center. Exhale the arm back down. You can walk the leg back in, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. This time, extending our left leg out to the side. Left toes reaching away from the body. Hands can be on our hips for stability, or maybe holding on to the chair. Wherever we are, let's breathe our left arm up to the sky. Remember to stretch up and over before we stretch over to the right. Creating that nice long line from the tip of the left fingertips all the way down to the left toes. Our neck can be looking straight ahead. Maybe it feels good to look up at that top hand, or maybe down to the floor. Play with that. 1 more breath here. And then inhale, coming up back through center, reaching up, lowering our arm, and then walking our leg back in. Good job. Shake out the legs if you need. Do a few shoulder rolls with your shoulders, breathing them up to the ears, exhaling them down the spine. Fantastic. Let's take both of our hands by our side. Inhale, reaching, stretching up overhead. Exhale, we're going to take our forward fold, reaching down towards the ground, just for 1 moment this time. And then on our inhale, we're going to do a halfway lift. So bring our hands to our knees. We're going to halfway lift with our spine, creating a flat back, reaching the crown of our head away from our tailbone, trying to make that nice long line again. On our exhale, we forward fold again. And this time when we come up, we're going to bring our right leg with us. So inhale, we bring our right leg up, hugging our leg in as close to the body as we can. Wherever we are, we want a nice long and tall spine. Maybe take a few hip circles here if that feels good. Rolling our hip in a circular motion in one direction. Reverse that circle, go in the opposite direction. Coming back up through center, here's where we're going to work the leg and hip a little bit. You can stay right here holding onto this leg nice and high, or if you'd like, maybe release one or both hands off that leg. Leaving our knee up nice and high. If you're starting to feel that hip flexor work, Wherever we are, we don't want to roll back towards the back of our chair. Try and have that nice long spine. Engage your core. Bring your ribs closer together. Reach through your crown of the head. One more breath here. Hold that knee up nice and high. Exhale, release that leg down slowly. Shake out the leg if you need. Let's take our hands to our sides, reaching our arms up overhead. This time, maybe our palms come to touch at the top, and let's take a nice back bend here. It can be small or as big as you'd like. Wherever we are, let's reach and look up to the sky. Inhale, and then on our exhale, take a nice little back bend here, reaching up and out of our hips. Exhale, coming down through center. Feel free to lower the arms. Reset the breath. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Inhale, reach our arms up overhead. Exhale, we forward fold. Hands come to the knees and roll all the way down the shins, reaching the crown of our head towards the ground. Take one breath here. Then on our inhale, we'll take our halfway lift. Hands come to the knees. Nice long spine here, reaching the crown of the head away from the hips. Exhale, forward fold. One breath here, and on our way back up, we're going to get ready to bring our left leg up. So hold on to that left leg, and then bring it up with your torso. We're hugging the left leg in nice and close to our body, and let's take a few hip circles here. Moving the hip in one direction, and then maybe you reverse that direction, go the opposite way. Find stillness, bringing that knee back in close to the body. Check in with our spine, make sure we're sitting up nice and tall, and if you'd like, you have the options to release the arms. So maybe bring one arm in front of us, releasing the leg. Maybe take both arms off, keeping that knee nice and high. Engage in the core, grow 1 inch taller through the crown of the head. Hold that knee up nice and tall, one more breath. And on your exhale, slowly release that leg back down. Shake out the legs. We'll take our breath to reset with our arms and take our back bend. Inhale, reaching arms up overhead. Maybe the palms come to touch at the top. And then take that optional back bend. Maybe you just look up to the sky, or maybe you reach up and over behind you. Coming through center, lower those arms back down. Wonderful. Inhale, we reach up, and exhale, we forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, nice long and tall spine. Exhale, forward fold again. We're going to take a twist here. So we're going to take our right arm and reach our right arm up to the sky. So we can stay low, or we can come up higher if this makes it more accessible for us. Wherever we are, we're reaching our right hands to the sky. We're feeling our shoulder blades engaged behind our back. And maybe we try and look up at those top fingertips. Exhale, lower the right arm back down. Inhale, same thing with the left. So inhale our left arm to the sky. Staying low, we're coming up high. Wherever we are, trying to have a flat back. Engage the back muscles, and maybe look up towards that top fingertips. Exhale, lower the arm back down. Inhale, we'll just slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Excellent. Make any movements that feel good to you. If you want to roll up the shoulders a few times, you have that option. Excellent. So get ready. We're going to stand up out of our chair. We'll find mountain pose at the top of our chair, standing in front of the chair. So mountain pose is simply a standing posture, but it's the foundational pose for all standing poses. So we want our legs hip-width distance apart, really root down through the feet, pull up through the kneecaps, pull up through the legs, really activate and strengthen those legs. On our inhale, we're going to breathe our shoulders up towards our ears. Exhale, rolling our shoulders back down our spine for a nice open chest. And then our palms face forward. So we're rooting through the ground, reaching through the crown of our head. Although this is a stable and stationary position, we're growing, and feel the length in your body. Exhale, release. Fantastic. All right, if you have the space, we're going to come stand behind your chair. We're going to do a few poses that will use the chair for balance. So make any adjustments as your space as you need. We're going to stand behind the chair and take wide legs. So the wider we take our legs, the more challenging it'll be. The closer we keep them in towards our body, the more accessible it'll be. But you can feel free to adjust at any time throughout. So stand a few inches behind your chair so just your fingertips touch. Our legs are wide and our toes are facing forward and our hips are facing forward. We're going to forward fold, reaching towards the chair. With nice straight legs and strong legs, we're pulling up through the kneecaps, and we might feel this stretch in our hamstrings. So reach our torso down as far as you're comfortable. Maybe have a little bit of a micro bend in your knee just to protect our knee and hamstring. But we'll hold for 2 full breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Breathing into the space that you feel this stretch in. And then on our final inhale, we'll come back up. Maybe walk a little bit closer to the chair this time. All right, so keeping our legs out nice and wide, we're going to take our right toes and point them away from the chair. And then our left toes are going to remain facing towards the chair. So if you look at my arms, this is where my feet are facing. Even though my right toes open to the side, we want to make sure we're still squaring our hips forward, squaring our hips towards the chair. So holding onto the chair, let's bend deeply through that right leg. Our right knee is going directly over those right toes, and our hips are still facing forward. We can hold onto the chair for balance here, or maybe if you'd like to take one or both arms out long and to the sides, you have that option. So reaching our arms in opposite directions, maybe look over those right fingertips, turning the head to the right. Right here, we're in Warrior Two, knowing that the chair is always in front of us if you want to hold on for balance or stability. Bend deeply in through that right knee, holding for a few more seconds. Feeling our legs work, our hips. Nice strong legs, and even though we're rooting through the ground, we're pulling up through the crown of our head. On our exhale, we can bring our arms to the chair, straighten that leg, and then have both feet face forward. So both of our toes are facing forward. Let's take our hands by our sides, stretch and reach up overhead to find star pose. As we're reaching up, we still want to relax our shoulders down and away from our ears. Exhale, lower the arms back down. Excellent. We're going to take Warrior Two on the other side. So right now, both of our toes are facing forward. We're going to open our left toes to point away from our body, away from the chair, and we're going to keep our right toes still facing forward. Both of our hips are still facing forward, and then start to bend that left knee. Finding this Warrior Two on the left side. So options with the arms, maybe you're holding onto the chair, maybe you want to take one arm off to the side, maybe you want to take both arms. Find your space. Maybe you try to turn your head over to the left and look over those left fingertips. Feel your arms being pulled in opposite directions if our arms are out to the side. Engage the back body. Make sure we're engaging the core still. Knit those ribs closer together. Root through the feet, grow 1 inch taller through the head. We're going to hold for one more breath here, bending deeply through that knee. And then on our exhale, pull back onto the chair, straighten that leg. Fantastic. You can have both toes face forward. We'll take star pose again. Stretching, reaching up overhead. Maybe our hands come to touch at the top. Exhaling our shoulders away from our ears. Lower the arms back down. Fantastic. Let's walk the legs in. Maybe bend one knee at a time just to stretch out those hips a little bit. And then we're going to take one more pose with our legs out wide. So when you're ready, let's take our legs out wide once again. This time, both of our toes are going to be facing out and away from the body. So opening up our hips a little bit. Again, make this stance as wide or as narrow as you'd like. This one you might want to start a little bit narrow. But what we're going to do is take goddess pose. So we're going to bend both of our knees, taking a nice deep squat. So you can go bend as deeply as you'd like today, holding onto the chair for balance, or maybe you want to play with taking your hands off the chair, one or maybe both. You can take prayer arms, maybe you want to take cactus arms. Wherever you are, feel the strength in your legs. Breathe into those working quads. I know you're probably feeling the burn. Hold for one more moment, and then exhale, release. Bring our hands back to the chair, straighten those legs, and then walk your legs back in to parallel. Bending one knee at a time. Stretch out those hips. Good work. Excellent. So we'll come to sit in our chair once again. Find a seat in your chair. Tune back into the breath. Maybe hopefully we're warmed up, but maybe our heart is racing a little bit. We feel the warmth in our body. Just notice whatever you're feeling at this moment. Try to slow the breath a little. Let's take both of our hands by our side. Inhale and reach them up overhead. And on our exhale, we're going to press the air away, pushing our arms, lowering them down to the floor, by our sides. Let's do that again. Nice strong arms. Inhale, we reach up. And exhale, flip the palms and press the air away. All right, let's take both of our hands to a T. So reaching our fingertips out and away from our body. We're going to rotate the shoulders up so our palms are facing the sky. Then on our exhale, we're going to rotate our thumbs down to the floor. So we're making a circular motion with our shoulders, feeling the rotation, and simply noticing what we're feeling there. If that's too much, you can always have a slight bend in your elbows if keeping your arms straight is too much. But continue to twist, opening the palms and rotating them down. As we continue to do this, you're going to start to feel your shoulders work. Take a few more, just like that. And then let the arms float down. Maybe roll out the shoulders up towards the ear and back down the spine a couple times. All right, we're going to take cow-facing arms. So for these arms, I'm going to turn to the side and back so you can see me. But basically, we're going to reach our arms out to our sides. We're going to bring our left arm up overhead, our right arm down, so our arms are opposite. And then we're going to bend at both elbows and try and grab our arms behind our back. So it's okay if they don't touch. Hopefully you can see this. But we're just reaching our arms and our palms toward each other behind us, getting them as close together as possible. So even if that just means that we're reaching our hand to the back of our head, and on the left and on our hip on the right, that's perfectly fine. But we're trying to come as close to the body, bringing our palms as close together as possible. So wherever you are, we're going to hold here for a few breaths. Feeling that deep shoulder stretch. We're sitting in our chair, but rooting down through our hip bones and lengthening through our spine like we've done throughout the entire class, finding that optimal spine. Take 2 more full breaths here. And exhale, let's lower the arms back down. Gently take a few shoulder rolls here. And we'll do the same thing with opposite arms. So wherever you were, let's take both of our arms to the side. Take the opposite arm up, opposite arm down, and we'll bend at the elbows and try and reach those hands to touch behind us. So again, if we're only just holding onto the back of our head and our hip, that's great. If you want to try and reach those arms closer together, just listen to your body and your shoulders. So it might feel different on the other side. Just notice what you're feeling. Find that space where you can breathe and settle in. one more breath here in this space. And then let's release the arms, stretch them out to the sides, and just let them slowly and gently lower back down to our thighs. If you'd like to take a few shoulder rolls here, you have that option. And let's take both of our hands out in front of us and start to just open and close the palms, stretching and reaching our fingertips up nice and wide as we make a big high five, and then exhale, squeezing our hands into a fist. So opening and closing those fingers. Maybe shake out the wrists like you're shaking some water off your hands. You can bring the arms back closer to your body. And then start to just shake your legs. Release any tension in your arms, legs, feet. Continue to shake, shake, shake. One more moment, one more breath. And then release the arms down. We'll take our seated Shavasana pose as our last final resting pose. So you can feel free to get as comfortable as you'd like. Maybe scooch towards the back of your chair. Maybe let your torso rest on the back of the chair. If you'd like to take your legs out a little bit longer in front of you, resting on the ground. And then simply have your arms resting on your thighs. Maybe you flip your palms up to face the sky. In our final resting pose, you can feel free to close your eyes gently if that feels good. Our goal is to simply stop and notice how we're feeling. Trying to release and relax the tension in every muscle, starting with the crown of your head and scanning your body, working your way all the way down towards the tips of your toes. Checking in and releasing. If your breath has become shallow, start to deepen your breath. Bring some movement back to your fingers and toes. And then we can slowly sit closer to the edge of the chair for the last time today, taking our time to get there. Let's take our hands by our side and do one more final stretch up. Just gently reaching up this time, reaching our arms up overhead. And exhale, hands down and in front of us to heart center. Namaste.